Ladies and gentlemen, I am doing the best I can with what I have to work with. And I don't know, ever since I found out Taylor Swift has had children, and, ever since Diamond and Ben started talking about the hurricane, my hacker problems have been having major trouble. Takes me a long time to even upload like a 1 minute video. Took me like an hour. And now that web browser went down, so now I got this one. And like I said, dude, Ben has been fucking with me and BpEarthwatch and Dutchsinse for years. He's one of the worst humans I'm aware of, and he's the worst thing that has ever happened to the truth community. I'm sorry that you couldn't carry our jock, Ben. Good luck with your marriage, buddy. I hope it works out. Okay, so we have a very dangerous situation here going on. It looked like for a second Tropical Storm slash Hurricane Barry was starting to develop. It is 12 p.m. Texas time. Yeah, it looks like she's starting to spin. And I've been watching the bands when this thing blows up, and if this thing does begin to strengthen, it's gonna be a really scary situation for everybody involved. Last night there was a show in Houston. I think a lot of people did what they could to cool off things. It looks like it worked, but then I guess we got to redo it because she's heating up again. That was like the greatest show I've ever seen, by the way. Thank you for that. And I love guitar tones and amazing Valkyries. Yeah, I don't think the chances of it fizzling are very strong. The main thing I'm watching here, because everybody has said the main thing for this is rainfall. The most dangerous aspect of this situation is definitely going to be rainfall, regardless of Whoa, sorry. Okay, so that's a lot of pink. Like, that is an incredible amount of pink, and this will be the first time in history that a hurricane will hit a river that was already in major flood stage. And so, yeah, on this guide, we're seeing it look pretty dang big. Wouldn't you agree? And it definitely looks like it is starting to spin. And my fear the whole time has been that if this thing wraps up, forms, gets a tight eye, I think we're going to see a hurricane that will extend from Florida to Texas. Now, honestly, the whole time I've felt like Texas is safe. And I hope I'm not wrong, because I know I've been talking about Louisiana the whole time, but I still feel like Texas is safe, but Louisiana is in deep, deep trouble. So that is a ton of moisture. One way to track the strengthening of the storm, the projected rain totals are at 2 feet. I think that's without storm surge. And I think we're going to see bigger rainfall totals than that in some areas. And somehow if I drop my phone, you're going to see that my apartment is totally filthy. Sorry about that. I've been locked in for a while. So I don't know if you remember when I predicted that it was going to Emma would be right about there. And so it looks like I got the actual locate. We'll see, but I think the location is correct. But over there, I mean, even on here, that says 10 inches, 10 to 20. So that's pink is 20. And so it's now starting to show 20 inches. Like if the eye wall if the eye wall lands here, the east of the hurricane, will bring, that's where the most water will come. And so that area through there, which I guess would include into New Orleans, would get, even right now, the models who tend to underrun it are saying 20 inches. And so that's going to be an incredible amount of rain. This is looking like a dangerous and damaging situation. I'd like everybody to pray if you can, if that's your thing, because I don't know. I love people, and I don't hate people, especially people I've never met. And so I feel a direct connection to Louisiana. The Cajun Navy was at the height of the American spirit when Hurricane Harvey hit. A lot of people came here to help Texans out when our cities, our towns, our streets, our homes were underwater. And so I pray and I hope that Texans will do what they can when the wet shit hits the fan here to go out of their way to go help Cajuns and Louisianians in their time of need. Because like, if I make a prediction that goes against the grain, if everybody's saying it's not going to be a hurricane, I'm like, it's going to be a category 3. I only say that because that is what I believe. That is never what I want to happen. And so if I end up being correct, which I don't want to happen, I would love to be wrong on this one, people. But if this thing strengthens, even if it strengthens in the next 7 hours, it's still going to have 24 hours to sit and spin. Oh, hey, look at that. Thor is gay. You know, last night at that show, 3 of my crushes were there. But I have to admit, JJ is handsome. So if I thought JJ was handsome and cool, does that mean I'm gay? I don't know. Technically, I think when you touch the genitals of the same sex, that is the thing that makes you gay. And I'm okay with it. You know, people should find love with consenting adults wherever they find it. Love is hard enough. I love gay people. I know sometimes Christians freak out, but a lot of those Christians that freak out or also think greed is good and divorce is okay. So it's just a hypocritical world, man. I know that since I found out Taylor Swift has a baby, I haven't been able to kiss any women. So it just seems weird to obstruct my love life and then call me gay at the same time. But, you know, that's what the Bente Diamond complex likes to do. But back to the storm. Like I said, the Ben and Taylor are fucking pissed, man. They're just, their little Q mini I said scheme's falling apart. Like when I met Taylor, she was with Big Machine Records and she had a chance to get her 6 albums back. They dropped her like a fucking bad habit. That caught her by surprise. And then Scooter swept in and took her albums. And so she keeps fucking with me. Some people never learn. You know what? Sometimes money can make you real dumb. So I'm glad I've always been dollar to dollar. Yeah. She didn't get her EGOT. Are you guys excited to see Cats the movie, the musical? I hear they have to fix it in post. It's coming out in December. I love you guys. Scotty, my boy. You know, Scooter is a nickname of Scotty. Scotty's cool. Yeah, this is a life and death situation, and that's the. I mean, I don't see. It's if there's one thing people seem to be good at, it's placing blame. And Katrina was just a major disaster that I you can't pin on anybody. And we have more major disasters coming up. And so, instead of looking at the past, we need to look to the future as far as if you have the tiny group of really rich people who really hate people, you can't let them distract you. You gotta not fall for their divide and conquer bullshit and figure out what we can do to survive this together. Because this will affect all of us eventually. No one is safe. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the year. Leo King reiterated that. Like right now, nobody's safe. Until we all calm down and work together, there isn't a single motherfucker on the planet that's safe right now. I mean, literally, we've almost had World War III break out 4 times in the last 6 weeks. Remember when the Russian sub caught on fire and everybody ran back to their bunkers? That was real. And I know I don't mean to mix in politics, but what I'm saying is that, like, I think the hacking came from inside Silicon Valley. And so both sides have been lying to you about Russia colluding with America. That didn't happen. Apparently, we have not been getting along because the United States and OPEC want to control the world's oil, and Russia and China are like, you guys don't get to control the world's oil. So as I've been telling you for 6.7 years, the information the public gets is filtered through the oil and war system. So we got to learn that most of the time the information we were being given is not that good. And that we got 7 billion people, and that somehow the digital age has allowed, I would say, anywhere from 30 to 100 people to control the other 7 billion. And the minute that we all wake up and realize that we're all in this together and that we can build cities of the future and we can do great things will happen. And that this storm is scary, and it's a very scary situation. You can already see the circling happen. I mean, this, depending on how big this thing gets, and if what are we now? We are 3 days off the Saturn opposition. And so on the 3 days off the Saturn opposition, we have a retrograding, standstill, giant pressure formation in the Gulf. And it really doesn't seem like it is the heat of the ocean temperatures that is affecting it, because it's been over super hot water, and the ebb and flow of the system doesn't seem to be guided by the heat. And it seems like now it is starting to wake up, grow. 5.0 earthquake in California a little bit ago. And it was another thing that I pegged as far as like the Silicon Valley thing. I know people don't want to believe it, but Silicon Valley has like everything locked down. And so they are a big group behind all the information out there that's trying to tell you that it's chemtrails or that it's direct energy weapons. Because just as that 7.1 earthquake hit in my time zone thing, like where I predicted it, that those guys own so much land in California. It's just like that Superman movie. They don't want people to be aware. The only thing they care about is money. They're fucking crazy. And so that's, I've said there's a 70% chance we're going to get a volcano earthquake in California this year. There's a 95% chance if it hasn't happened, it'll happen by next year. And I feel like the information block could break eventually, but that's why, like, I think we've seen a large push to push the truth tellers out of the truth community and to keep in the guys who are gonna sell you politics and bullshit, man. It's gonna be a weird day. The energy is gonna be intense. I know I've been feeling it. I'll wave in between bursting into tears or feeling like rage. I would love to have a fair boxing match, I would take Ben and Diamond on at the same time. And then maybe in the next cage, Justin Bieber could fight Tom Cruise. But definitely, imagine if you had a wrestling match between me and BP Earthwatch versus Diamond and Ben. That would be amazing, right? That would be so cool. I'm pretty sure BP would do it. I know for a fact BP would do it. I doubt Ben and Diamond would, though. They would definitely kick my ass in a hackathon. Yeah, one time Taylor showed me how they could actually take your views and then give them to someone else. In that Who is QAnon video that Diamond did, like they said, they can have a separate server on the side. It's hard to explain. Anywho, I'm saying, yeah, dude, small group's been fucking with everybody for a long time. I think that age is coming to an end. We'll see, though. I hate the fact that I even have to talk about during this shit. But like I said, this is why I'm streaming to you from my phone, because the second Ben and Diamond started talking about this hurricane, my hacker problems lit up. Star water! Star water! Star water! Star water! Chump. Okay. So yeah, this thing is, and if you're just joining us, right here, this is some of the nastiest rain ban potential I've seen. It's that, like, I'm pretty sure that it's a group. There's like, I would guess there's 5 to 10 people in that QAnon thing. And like Cranky Weather Guy, one of the reasons he stopped doing Twitter is because like a lot of the weather people are just getting fucked with as a small group is trying to lock down and monetize weather. It's, it's been a battle. Yeah, look at that. That is a lot of water, man. That if this starts to strengthen now, we got 20. Thank you very much, Allison. Yeah, get them bullies out. Like, there's 30 people that are preventing us from having rock and roll comedy, good times, like moving forward in the world. And I had 2 Air Force dads, and at like the age of 13, they were. It is a battle we can win. So they taught me about mutually assured destruction in the atomic age, like as a 13-year-old. And that technically, since a kid, it's always been my job to try and figure out how to make the world transition into something smoother and better. And it's weird, in the mid 90s, I said part of the problem was going to be, the old money families, their kids who inherit it. They were going to be a big problem because there were going to be, some of them were going to be spoiled brats without empathy who thought they were little mini gods, even though they haven't really done anything impressive ever other than inherit shit. And hey, what do you know? I pegged that one right. Yeah, dude. That's what they. It's a weird, like, but I have a big capacity for love, and I guess some people have those equal capacities for hate. I know there are a lot of good people out there, and that this is a major danger. What up, a lunatic? And it's better to be on a great team, anyways. Like anyone who is good at anything knows that you're better off being on a good team with surrounded by good people. Like the idea of like American Idol, where there can only be one person on the stage, that is one of the most anti-American things that I've ever heard of. That like we shouldn't let Disney own everything. You may think that's unpatriotic, but that is how I feel. Right now, I mean, it has potential to be worse than Katrina. Right now, I think it's a hurricane. They're still saying it's a tropical storm, even though it's at 995 millibars of pressure. If it starts to strengthen now or in the near future, it has a chance to rapidly intensify. We have seen storms go from nothing to category 4 in 18 hours. And so right now we've got probably about 31 hours left before this makes landfall. And so I don't want to scare you. The one thing that I thought was weird was the governor gave a no evacuation call, which I questioned because you have a major river, the Mississippi, in flood stage. And then, okay, now here's the weird thing. So this would be like Harvey, right? And if I'm correct, and this has moved 210 miles east, and it looks like I might be, then this would be Irma. Does that make sense? I mean, Dada Boo, the wave master, says that the dust coming off Africa is so bad right now, nothing can develop. And so I hope that's true. But if this is Harvey, then the next one's Irma. And we can pretty much map out the rest of the hurricane season, I think. But I am surprised. I am surprised that we have a hurricane in the middle of July. What up? What up, Veter? God bless Texas. Seriously, like I was telling my friend, Texas has a lot of room for all the cool people out there who want to move to safer places. Although, if we don't calm down, nowhere is safe. But, and look at the outward bands of this thing. That's what, if this thing forms, it has potential to be massive and giant. And then the heavy rain bands haven't started to move in yet. You're seeing some. Let me click. So you're seeing that this is where. That's what I was telling. You still got. Let's say we definitely have, because then it just makes land, and then after it makes land, we got a whole different ball game, because some of the models have shown it reforming in the Atlantic, but we don't need to worry about that right now, I guess. But so it looks like a lot of the heavy rain is heading towards Destin, Miramar. I'm sorry if my voice cracked. Like I said, the rock and roll show last night was the greatest show I've ever seen. And so I think I was singing the whole time. Hey, hey. You know what? But I got to say this. Somebody walked up to me and was like, hey, man, you were the only one dancing. And I've heard that like 1,000 times in my life. That's the cool thing about me. I'm so crazy. I don't care if people make fun of me when I'm dancing. So I dance whenever I want to. And I think more people should dance. The center of circulation, well, it keeps. Let's go back to. But I think you like shit. You can see that if it intensifies, this thing is going to go coast to coast. Damn, I wish you could do it the good way. Actually, one more thing. So we're talking just real quick. What the idea of having like a dual? If you had like two dueling cues, like a good cue and a bad cue, that would make a good James Bond movie. And so, yeah, I mean, most people from Florida to Texas, everybody needs to be prepared, because today this is showing signs of possible rapid intensification into a major storm. Rain train. I actually think I got the rain train phrase from Cliff High. Um, but yeah, it's but the we are seeing that atmospheric river that goes from Mexico all the way up to now Europe. This storm is the tail of that. And so it's weird because we now have like two equators. I know that sounds, yeah, this thing is blowing up super big time. Um, it's I found usually that if I've made over 10 videos on the same storm. It's usually, it's because it's a big deal, and my planetary angular momentum pressure thing hasn't missed yet, and so we will see. There's a possibility this 2017 season is going to be more destructive than this hurricane season will be more destructive than 2017 season, and so uh, I think on, like I said, Dada Boo says one in the Atlantic isn't going to, like, it's going to be going into a whole lot of dust and dry air down here. So I hope that's true, but that one needs to be watched. And I love Puerto Rico. One day I want to go to Puerto Rico. I'm still unmarried. I'd definitely marry a Puerto Rican woman if she was right. And that a lot of our military men have come out of Puerto Rico. A lot of soldiers. Like I said, my two dads were Air Force, and my godfather and my uncle Butch, who was in the Army, went to Vietnam for 2 tours, forbid me for joining the military, but I'm always like a military man at heart. And so we need to keep an eye on the storm that will be approaching Puerto Rico. And if it looks like it's going to be something major like Maria, we need to have new plans in place for how to deal with it. At some point, shit needs to be unveiled to the public to where some magical, mystical secret comes out that, hey guys, did you know you can build stuff underground? You know, you can build entire stadiums underground. And so it's kind of like better planning for the future. You could literally build a mini city underground in some of these areas along the coast so that when you have major hurricanes come in, you could have places to go to safety. And it's public information that the DoD and Defensive Command has an extensive underground railroad. Um, I mean, that's public information. So at some point, it would be good to allow the public to have some access to underground structures so that you could get people safe. Or, like I've talked about, that if I've been told that if you make glass in a vacuum, the glass becomes stronger than steel. And so it goes back to we're staying stuck in the 80s and we're never allowed to roll out all the cool new stuff. Hopefully those days are coming to an end though. But yeah, so it looks like this thing is a major monster and is now undergoing rapid intensification. I don't know. I can't officially say that it is, but you guys are watching it with me. I mean, this doesn't look good, right? We can all agree that this is not, I mean, this is a serious situation. And I'm surprised. Look how far it's extending into. See, if I had a girlfriend, she could hold my phone for me. What about a girlfriend with hacking skills? Not to hack people, but for defense, man. That's why I haven't edited a video, just because they've been screwing with my editing program too. Like, for fuck's sake, man, pull your head out of your ass and stop being such a douchebag. You're never gonna control the. You're never gonna corner the space weather market. And sorry, guys, no matter how good Lee is at hacking and towers and. Well, there you go. And Ben, you never really come off as a people person. You know, it's not something you can do. It's not like you don't get the impression you really care about people. You know? So yeah, that is, see how this looks much different on these rain bands? Like, so this is why I made a recommendation to my mom that, like, if you can afford to, I would get out, because if this is all wraps into, that's, this is a disastrous amount of rain. Hurricane hunters are flying into Barry now. The 1 o'clock update, has that come out yet? Let me check. And look, see, like, it's still up until today. Most of them think it's just going to be a tropical storm. If this goes at 3, the overall reporting on this thing was a failure. Not by me, of course. And I don't like to throw people under the bus, but just, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, so there's the latest one. That was the Cat Recon. There it is. Now, this may not be totally accurate, but lightning will usually, come on, load for me. Lightning is an indicator of the strengthening of the pulses. And so it's a good idea. So right now we're at 21,000 lightning strikes. And so the highest we've seen in the last 2 weeks was 64,000 lightning strikes in 48 hours. That came right before the or a few hours before the 7.1 earthquake the other night. Yeah, definitely don't let your guard down. It still looks like it's going to New Iberia, but how high are the cloud tops? I don't know that right now, and I'm not good at finding that one. So we'll watch. Like, this should be a good indicator. If it starts to really climb, I think we'll see it rapidly intense. I mean, I'm gonna refresh this to see if the 1 o'clock update has come in. Oh, uh, the vaping is wonderful. I wouldn't have enjoyed last night's incredible show as much without it. It's delicious. Okay, so this is the, this is still the 10:48. So we're waiting on the latest 1 p.m. reading. I know I need a moderator, but like, basic. I don't even know. Shit. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to make people moderators, but the phone is not helping. Okay, I'm gonna try and figure it out. I will come back in a half hour when the 1 p.m. reading comes down. I'm gonna try and figure out how to make people a moderator, but I'll do what I can to cover the story all day. Like I said, I've been telling you about it since the 3rd. I've been doing a great job. But technically, I don't trust anybody at this point. It is like the Matrix. It feels like Agent Smith can almost hop into anyone and make them do things that are out of character. See, like, that is the dumbest shit I ever heard. Are you MAGA, dude? Like, I hope New Orleans goes under. This is what they get for spending the money on taking statues down instead of fixing pumps. So you're gonna throw, what, 5 million people in the volcano because 5 people did a shitty job? That is just the dumbest mindset I've ever fucking heard. And you guys have been running the show for a long time. People who like to, I don't know, what are you, an evangelical? You just can't wait until people get burned in the tribulation. I know that's one thing. A lot of people, they're the people who like to cause harm to others. They're the people who harm themselves. They're the people who like to put people down. And then there are people like me who like to talk about how awesome I am. I guess it's all. See, but like living in New Orleans is asinine. Well, living in California is asinine. Living in Earth is a giant volcano. Earth is a giant volcano, man. Nowhere safe. Say it again. Nowhere safe. And yeah, I think we got shot in fruit where Pain Joy from Martians. There's no logic at all with me. And you know, but that's like, what can anybody say? I'm like the only person who predicted this storm accurately from 9 days out. So you can talk shit about me today, but what did you do? You know what I'm saying? Would you buy a bus? Run around and be like, Star Water, mini ice age coming. Dude, when will this horrible winter ever end? Yeah. And when they reverse engineer all of Taylor Swift's deep fake videos, they'll find out how many times she used the N word. It's crazy how the QAnon crew hates poor people. Not that they're dueling Qs, though. Like I said, there's a good Q, and then there's just the hey, Valley Girl. Rogues Malone. How's your marriage, Rogues? That's what Diamond and Ben and Taylor are freaking the fuck out. You guys are crying. Didn't your parents ever teach you right? Yeah, I don't know. I've been hyper focused and only working for like 6.7 years. I didn't get married. I didn't have kids. I didn't throw a bunch of conventions. I didn't roll around in a bus. I didn't put out a book. I didn't fucking throw my nutsack into politics. I've just been doing this, and this is how I got so good at it. Your watered down science, Bitcoin ban. You're a chump, dude. You're the biggest chump ever. Thank you. And it feels good to do well. Love you guys. Okay, I'll be back after the 1 p.m. update. And I forgive people faster than anyone out there. So as soon as the haters can grow the fuck up and get on the page, that would be wonderful. All right? You can't corner the market on space weather, dude. Especially when your science is so fucking watered down. You have to change theories every fucking 6 months. And you look like a dipshit for selling a mini ice age. You look like a fucking dipshit. And everyone knows it. And you look dumb. You have egg and shit on your face. All your hacking skills aren't going to save you. You're still a fucking douchebag. So have a come to Jesus moment, motherfucker. All right? Dude, you never had the plot. Bill Nye looks at you and says, oh my God, that guy is so unlikable. Yeah. Okay, God bless everyone.